Yo,
Yo,
what's
yo,
going on?
yo. What's going on, people? How y'all doing today? Three Wise Man Podcast again coming to y'all.
For sure. I'm Zach.
I'm Ronnie G.
For sure. We're gonna jump right into it. This is episode 10. Growing through what we're going through, and we got a special guest today. And
Very special guest.
I feel like we already done had a pre-interview with this individual, and it was an instant vibe for real,
Amazing, amazing individual.
for sure. So we want to just share this individual with everybody. He's got a lot to say, a lot of wisdom. So without further ado, we're gonna invite special guest, the real Neil. Yeah, yeah.
What's going on?
Let's get it. Hey,
What's
There
going
you go.
on,
that's what I'm talking about.
man?
Hey!
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's go.
yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
yeah,
Got
let's
to.
do that.
For sure, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Hey,
So, man, how you been doing, man?
no cap. Hold up, let me make a call at a.
that's how
Hey,
it
all
goes.
right, now don't get started now.
Yeah,
For
buddy.
sure. Yeah, man. How you feeling, Neil?
Oh man, listen, man, blessed man to say, I'm just blessed, man, and I'm really grateful and thankful for you guys bringing me on here. I consider it a blessing, and also I consider it God basically letting me know, like, yo, look, you're here, to give a message, just like everyone. I think
Yeah,
everyone is a teacher, and everyone is still a student, no matter how old they get. And you
Right.
never know why this conversation is happening today. It could literally somebody that see this and say, you know what? I needed to hear these guys today. I'm glad they came on. I'm glad they brought this guy on. I don't even know who this guy is, but I guess I'm gonna find out though today. I'm gonna
They,
find
they, they
out.
gonna know after this episode who
yeah,
you is.
man.
Trust me. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
They
crazy
gonna
though.
know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I haven't been fortunate enough to come across you on social media. The algorithm is busting right now. Like it's dead. Okay,
Yeah.
but this is our opportunity.
Mhm.
Jacob told us about you, and we was excited, man. And after meeting you, this is like, yeah, the real deal. So you a
Yeah.
celebrity
Yo,
in my eyes.
I met Jacob. It's crazy because I met Jacob doing Uber, yo. I was doing
What?
Uber, and yeah, and I met Jacob through, yeah, in the Uber. I was taking him somewhere. I was giving a ride, and we was just chopping it up. And he was like, "Bro, the way your energy is, you need to be on the show with us, bro. You need to
For
get on the show."
sure.
And I was like, "Yo, I'm down whenever. Like, here's my number. Like,
Yeah,
yo, being in the Uber is crazy. Like, cause you network with so many people, and I love people.
yeah,
Like, I
Yeah.
don't care if
yeah,
you got a negative energy or nothing, but you leave with me, you gonna be like, man, I can't even be mad at this dude,
for
man.
sure.
Even if I had a bad day, I just can't be mad at him because he
Right.
cheered me up. You get where I'm coming from? So,
Yeah,
with that being said, it was like since it was a cheer up, he looked at it, he's like, yo, you gotta be on the show, bro. That's it.
yeah,
I was
Right.
like, bro, whenever, man, let me know. I thought he was, I didn't know him, so I thought he was just talking. But then
Yeah.
yeah.
here we
Yeah.
are.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't give you a good introduction, man. So I'm gonna just get into what some of the stuff you've been into and what you're into now. So you're a hip hop artist and R&B artist. You are a motivational speaker. You are
Mhm.
an advocate, and you were born in Harlem. Come on now, that's
Yes, sir.
deep,
Yeah.
deep rooted
Yeah.
Yes,
culture
sir.
right there. And then
Yes,
you were
sir.
raised in Savannah, and then you were telling us you went up to Rochester, New York, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went to high school there. Yep.
For sure, for sure. So you've been all up and down the coast, really.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And
I'm well
so,
diverse, man. Well
for
diverse.
sure. Okay. And your mission is making music and words to inspire, uplift, and spread positive energy. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
and you're partnered with Covenant House to support youth in need.
I
Yes,
like
sir.
that too. Yeah.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Philanthropy, man.
Yeah, man.
So,
The Covenant House in Fort Lauderdale on Sunrise Boulevard. So it's for like people who like go through domestic violence, or they ran away from their parents because maybe the parents was abusive. I don't know.
yeah,
So when you go there, they actually protect the kids. So you can't
Right.
really just walk in there like that, right?
yeah,
So what happened was I brung that to them, and I said, hey, look, I'm a hip hop and R&B recording artist, but I want to give back, and I was trying to see how you guys do it, like as far as giving back. So they took me through a tour inside of the Covenant House. They showed how they didn't have a Christmas tree. Their Christmas tree was like
Damn.
from the 80s. Okay, they didn't have a Christmas tree, and
Damn.
then literally from the 80s,
That shit
and
Crazy.
probably
then
dusty as hell.
it was really dusty. Like she showed me, it was me and my team. So
Mhm.
they showed us how dusty it was. Then
Yeah.
they told a story about a kid that was like 11 years old and did not have anywhere to go for Christmas when other people had places to go, and he
Yeah,
stayed there in the Covenant House and watched Christmas TV. And I felt
Damn.
bad. Me and my
yeah,
wife, we felt really bad for him. So in under 24 hours, we went back. We went to Walmart and we bought like so many gifts. It was crazy. We came back and the lady was like, "I cannot believe y'all came back in under 24 hours with Christmas gifts, a new tree, and you guys are just crazy." Like she was like, "Where you come from? Like where? Like
yeah.
how did you find out about this?" And I was just letting her know, like, look, spiritual, man. I'm more spiritual than religious. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm.
Spirituality is like literally like I look at it like me. If I can just change somebody's life, anybody's
Yeah.
life for the better, then I know I've done something right on this earth. I'm not perfect
So
by a long shot, but you know.
so let me ask you a question, Neil. What made you, out of all of the things that you could have done to give back to the community, what stood out about the Covenant House to you like that made you say, you know what, out of everything I can do, I'm gonna focus on here. Like what made you do that? What gave
It's a
you
good,
like the idea to do
yeah,
that?
that's a good question. So my sister-in-law went through that.
Okay.
She had to go in there because we were homeless at one point, but we were all living together. But we had got homeless, so we had nowhere to stay. So she decided to go to the Covenant House. This was years when we first came down to Florida, and we were struggling a little bit. You know what I mean? So she went into the Covenant House with her kids, and she was telling us how the Covenant House was. So then years later, when we got right and got on our foot, we was like, "Yo, we need to get back there." And she was like, "You know
Okay.
what? That'll be so dope if you do that. Like that'll be good." So boom, you know what I mean? I was performing down in Florida at the time. Like everybody in Florida knew who I was. So I was
Yeah.
performing all around. So when I got involved with the Covenant House, forget about it. It was like, yo, he's involved with the Covenant House. Oh snap. Like this is crazy. This dude, he's the real deal. Like he's not playing. Like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
only is he talking about he give back, but he's showing you. Like if you go to Healing Broken Souls nonprofit on Instagram, you can actually see the work that we've been doing. You can actually
Okay
see it.
then.
You
Wow.
know what I mean? Healing Broken
Yeah.
Souls nonprofit. You know what I mean? That's on Instagram.
Yeah.
Check us out there, man. A lot of work, a lot of researching, and the Covenant House was just a great fit. You know what I mean? Where it literally catapulted us into like with this big goal about Healing Broken Souls nonprofit. So
Right.
our big dream really is to open up an academy to have the kids who age out of foster care between 18 and 24, that they have a place to stay, food in their bellies, and they're able to take up a trade, whether it's welding, brick mason, but guess what? Totally free for them though. All they gotta do
Wow.
is don't do drugs when you come in to live in the campus. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Make sure you clean, you know what I mean? And you can come there and stay there for free, eat for free, and get you a degree. Come on a trade.
Hey,
Damn,
Come on.
that
I like that.
hey, I
Nothing.
like
For
that, man.
That's the slogan. Yeah,
for
yeah.
Yeah.
nothing.
For
For
sure.
nothing. So that's our big goal.
Um,
It has been a journey to do this because we're coming out of pocket for a lot of it. Like me and my wife together already spent 10 grand. That's out of
Damn.
our pockets. A lot of people don't know, but it takes money to start a nonprofit. It's not free
Yeah.
like everybody
I
think
believe
it
it.
is. It takes
Yeah.
money to get it off the ground. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So me and my wife, my wife is so invested in the Healing Broken Soul because she went through a lot as a child. She had to raise her siblings at 13.
Mm.
So she grew up very early as a kid. She became an adult at 13 years old. So as she got the older she got, just put 20 more years on top of her age. So if she was 20 back then, her mentality was 45.
Right.
The mentality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's always been a well-reserved person. I'm the one that got her out of her shell, so to say, by making her laugh. You know what I'm saying? Joking around. So me and her, she said, you know why I married you? Because you're funny.
I
She
mean,
makes me
to be honest with you, a
makes me
lot of
laugh.
women always say that the dude that makes them laugh, they tend to gravitate more toward because they bring them out of the shell. Like you know how some
Yep,
females is. So yeah, I can
yep,
understand that. But also with
yep.
that, also the name of this episode is called basically going through what you're going through. So how did all of these life experiences help you grow through what you was going through? Because like we was talking earlier, basically before, I was married and I went through a divorce. Now, I grew up during that process because I started to basically realize some of the things that I may have not thought about or things that I may have should have done in this marriage to basically make it work. But at the end, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I it actually helped me grow up. So all the experience that you went through, how did they help you grow up? Like, what were some of the things that stood out to you to help you get to where you're at now? Because I know that it wasn't easy.
Oh man, my kids, man. I have 5 kids, so
Wow.
4 boys and 1 girl. My oldest is 30 and my youngest is 15. um they kind of basically they put more of I became more of a man because of them, because of the responsibilities, because of I had to make sure that they were good before myself, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times when some for some guys when they have kids, it helps them like mature faster,
Yeah.
but some guys they don't. Like kids actually pushes them away and they leave. So I don't. It's like a toss of a coin. Some men will
Yeah.
sit there and own up to it, and some men will escape it. But for me, I embraced it though. When these kids came, I said, "Oh, hold up! I gotta really strap on. I gotta really lock in, and I gotta really show up because my whole thing is when I was a kid, my mother and I love my mother. Don't get nothing twisted. I'm not trying to bash my mom and not trying to bash
Right.
my father, but they just weren't able to show up for me like I would have liked them to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would have wanted them to show up for me, like always be
Yeah.
there for me when I needed somebody to lean on. And I really did, I was suffering from that. Right. So I told myself, I said, yo, when I have kids, yo, I don't want them to suffer like I did. I don't want them
Right.
because they're gonna have their own suffering because everybody is destined to go through trials and tribulations, right? But I just didn't want them to have that particular thing that they had to go through from their father. Because a lot of times
Yeah.
fathers really don't get uplifted enough due to the fact it's always the mother.
Mhm.
Always the
Yeah.
mother. It's like, yo, the father that's been a father, he deserves to get mentioned too. Right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
long story short is, man, my kids is my biggest success. I consider myself a trillion gillionaire because of them, because they are achieving a lot in life. And at the end of the day, if they're achieving, then we won. Me and my wife, we
Yeah.
won. We won. We winning. We're winners because they're
Yeah.
winning, right? So
Hell
if they're
yeah.
winning, I don't care if the money is not the thing. I'm people driven more than I'm money driven, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It makes
and
sense.
people hear me, they be like, "This dude's crazy. What is he talking about?" I'm like, "No, I'm people driven. If I
Yeah.
can uplift you, and if I can encourage you to be the best version of yourself, then to me, I've done my job, man. I feel like I just really feel like I'm on earth to uplift people,
That's good.
even if I'm feeling uninspired. But I like a lady got in my car today before I got on with you guys, and she told me literally her whole story in 20 minutes about her life.
Yeah.
She was with this guy, had a baby by the guy. Guy left. She got with a girl, started dating a girl. She threw a little bit of soda on the girl. The girl left her. Like it was just it was a whole
Damn.
story. But but you see how she was comfortable with telling me. That lets you know what type of character and what type of spirit I have. I have
Right.
a spirit that people just want to tell me. They want to let me know because you know what it is? I just feel like God is using me to talk
Yeah.
to everybody. And so I got to be very careful on the words that I say because the tongue is a powerful thing. I can either
Yeah.
speak life into you or I can speak death into you. So I'd rather
Hmm.
speak life into you if that makes sense. You know
I
what I'm
like that.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I
Yes,
like
sir.
that, man. You got morals, you got principles, and you let that guide your actions and how you go
Yeah.
about things. Uh,
Yes, sir.
so you would say that you're a family man. You make decisions with them in mind.
You said decision. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What did you say? I'm sorry.
Uh, would you say you make decisions with them in mind, whether it's business or personal?
What do I use a business mind? You saying?
Like, do you keep them in mind? Do you have them in mind
Oh
whenever you
yeah, yeah,
make
yeah, yeah.
decisions?
Anytime I make a business decision, my kids and my wife are right there in the presence of that. Half the time, my wife is there when I do make the business decisions. She's always
Yeah,
right next to me. You know what I mean?
that's what's
So
up. Yeah,
she's always when I make a decision, I make sure that I go over it with her first. Because here's the deal: a lot of people don't understand this either, and it sounds very cliche, but communication, you can never go wrong with that. A lot of times
Right.
our wires get crossed when we don't communicate, and that's just in life. That ain't even got nothing to do with being married. That's just life.
Yeah.
You two guys together, when y'all did this show or putting this thing together, y'all had to communicate to make this happen, right?
So
Yeah, of
So
sure.
course.
without the community, if you communicating with him, why can't you communicate with your wife when you want to do a decision? A lot of guys be like, why do I gotta tell her? I ain't gotta tell her nothing. Well, you signed up for that. What do you mean? You got married to sign up to let her know, hey babe, I'm going
Yeah.
to the store to get some ice cream. Do you want some? Hey babe, I'm going to to talk to these guys right now today in my car. Just to let you
Mhm.
know. Hey babe,
Yeah,
a lot of guys got this problem to tell their woman what they doing, where they going thing. And it's like, if that's the case,
Mhm.
bro, stay single.
For
Don't get
sure.
married. Because once you get
yeah, you
married,
got a
now you gotta
point.
let your girl know what's up. You know what I mean? You gotta
It's a
let her
serious
know where
thing.
you going. And it ain't even about her keeping a tab on you. It's just in case something happened and a cop comes to the door, like, hey, when the last time you seen your husband? Oh, he's missing. Oh, he is? Because he told me he was going to Walmart. That's what he
Hmm.
told
Yeah,
me.
that makes
So
sense. Yeah,
yeah, a lot of men take it like, why you trying to keep tabs on me? Why you want to know where I'm going, girl? I'm a man. No, you're a man if you tell her. Because man, if
right.
you're a man, what are you doing? You doing something illegal? You doing something that you ain't got no business doing? Why can't you tell her?
Right,
You
cause
see what I'm saying?
I tell all of my homeboys like when I was married, I used to get picked on a lot because they'll call me and be like, "Hey, we finna have a cookout." I'm like, oh, "Okay, well let me ask my wife." I go, "Bro, why you always got that? Are you a bitch?" It's like, no, it's not that. It's the simple fact like I respect this woman,
Yeah.
and in
Mm-hmm.
order to have some, even if you're not basically married, if you a guy out there and you listen to this right now, if you involved with any woman or a significant special person, don't feel like you're less of a man because you have to check in. I mean, if you think about it, if she's not asking you to check in and you still check in, that's gonna show her who you really are. That's
Of
why a lot
course.
of guys that don't have, you know how you have, it's a stigma. They say I got a lot of women. I really don't. I'm just friendly, and I know how to communicate. But one thing about it, I have a daughter, so I have to know how to talk to a woman, regardless if I like them or not, and my presence draws that. So that's what I tell them. Like, it doesn't make you less of a man because you check in with your woman. I mean, that's showing her what kind of man you really is, and she gonna respect that. And
100%.
yeah, it's
100%.
nothing
And
wrong with
and
that.
it's vice versa too. It's a two-way street. Like if my
Yeah,
wife is going somewhere, she'll let me know, like, babe, I'm going out here just in case. You know what I mean? And we're not thinking anything. We're not thinking like, oh, I'm keeping a tab on him. He's keeping a tab on me. We're not. Our mind frame is not on that. I guess
right,
because we're just mature. When you are a mature adult and y'all marry and you know what that marriage means, you're gonna be mature about when she tells you she's going to Publix, and I'm
right,
gonna be mature. You know what I mean? And she's gonna be mature with me when
Mhm.
I say, hey, babe, I'm going to the studio to work on some music. If you want, you can come. She's like, nah, babe, I'm not coming to the studio this time. You go ahead. See what I'm saying? Why?
yeah,
I don't got anything to hide from you. So why am I going to act funny about not telling you where I'm going? That just don't make sense
Sure.
when you're with somebody. Because if that's the case, you might as well stay single. Don't be committed to nobody. Be the pimp that you are, you say you are, and do your thing, baby. You know what I'm saying? Whatever works for you. But don't get caught
right,
up in a marriage just because it's a fad or you know, because that's real. I just value marriage like crazy. Like I value it because I know for a fact that when you get married, there's just certain things that change. It's like number one, you can't just think for yourself anymore. Like there's like my wife, we just lost my mother-in-law. I have her right here on me. Her name was
hmm,
Martha Waleska Mateo, right? We just lost her. My wife is dealing with that right now. You know, and we all are dealing with it. But you know what I'm doing while we're all going through it? I'm being the stronger person in the whole situation. And I'm cleaning, I'm cooking, I'm folding the clothes. I'm doing all these things to make sure that she's okay. So that way she can be able to grieve without still worrying, like, okay, I got to do the dishes. Okay, I got to wash clothes. Okay, I got to
yeah,
fold them. Okay, now I picked up all of that slack. I picked up the
Mhm.
slack and very willingly because I do that anyways. I love to cook. I love to clean. I'm efficient. I'm efficient even if I wasn't married. You come
right,
over my house, you get a clean meal. You're gonna get a cup of soda, or juice, or water, and it's gonna be clean so you can drink out the cup. So you know what I mean. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make sure it's crispy. You know what I'm saying?
Gonna be clean
But
so you can
Yeah.
drink out the cup.
yeah, you're gonna be able to drink out the cup. You know what I'm saying? Because cleanliness is next to godliness. So you
Right.
know, man, I got those type of traits. You know what I mean? My wife knew when she married. She knew she married a. She seen potential in me. You know what I'm saying? She
So,
seen when we lived together and how I was. You know, she's like, dang, this dude clean. Dang, this dude. I wasn't no OCD guy, but this guy care about his where he's at. You know what I
Right.
mean? This
yeah.
guy sweeping the floor back when it was the broom handle. Them sweeping
Yeah.
the floor, you know, before all
Hmm.
these new gadgets come out that clean for you now. But I'm just saying,
Mhm.
They don't really work worth a damn either.
they don't work anyways, man.
No,
Got a little
I just
robot
use
on
the
the floor.
traditional broom.
Yep,
Babe,
that's what I
but
be
Get
doing.
the job done.
let me ask you this. So with your music, what influenced you to make your music? Like what's some of your influences?
I'm really not. Here's the deal. My favorite artist of the world to me is Stevie Wonder. That's my favorite artist of the world. You know what I
That's
mean? I
solid.
love all artists out
Solid.
there, but I'm a Stevie
You know he
Wonder
gonna
fan.
see
You
this
know what I'm
too,
saying?
right?
Oh, I hope he do, cause I'm telling you, say, yeah,
Hey,
I'm like,
look,
what? Me and I'm like, yo, Stevie, I know you can't see me, but you hear me, baby.
oh, you
This here
funny.
is man.
You don't hear you.
Yeah, man.
Stevie gonna
I
hear
be
you for
telling,
real though.
yo, I be
That's good
telling,
though.
like, when women try to talk to me, I be like, yo, listen, I'm married, and I'm like Stevie Wonder. I don't see nobody but her. And they was like,
Mm.
oh, that's so cute. I'm like, nah, I'm dead for real. Like, there's a
Right.
million women out here. You see women all day long. But when it comes down to my wife, I'm like Stevie Wonder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't see them. You know what I mean? I see them, but I don't see them. You
Yeah.
Yeah.
understand? So, and they just they laugh at me, but they get me at the same time. They're like, oh, okay, I feel you. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like I said, bro, like I'm just the way I look at it is I signed up for something and I want to make sure that I follow through. A lot of
Yeah.
times you sign up for something and people don't follow through. If I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna follow through with that. You know what I'm saying? And my music, it saved me from a lot of things, bro. Music saved me from prison. Music saved me from a lot of situations, bro. Because I believe if I didn't have music, it could have been another. I could have went another route easily. But I felt I had a passion for music, man. I've been to the Apollo Theater, won first place 3 times in a group called 360. I've been on
Okay.
106 in Park
Yeah.
with AJ and Free. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been around,
Woo.
man. Like
You was
I've
106
been around.
apart.
Yes, sir. When it was AJ and Free, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you a
Damn.
story about that, a real small one. So the real small story is this. I went online to get some tickets to go on 106 in Park. So I got the tickets. I won the tickets. They sent me 2 tickets to go on there. So it was me and my girl cousin. We went. So I get on 106 in Park. Now, before you go on 106 in Park, you got to sit behind this in this room, and they prep you before you actually go on the stage, on the sound stage. So while we in there, I met this guy named Terrence Clayton. You can Google him. Real cool dude. He was like the guy that gets you to clap during the commercials. Like when the
Yeah.
commercial come on, he'll tell you when
Yeah.
to clap, basically, right? So when we was in that room, I started singing and messing around there. It was a bunch of us in the room. So I started singing a song called Ice Cream Sunday, right? So they heard me singing the Ice Cream Sunday song and everything. I was singing my behind off. So then the dude was like, Terrence Clayton, he was like, yo, I'm gonna put you next to Dave Hollister. Yeah, so that episode Dave Hollister was on. He had the last album in there called what Things in the Game Done Changed. That was the name of it.
Yeah.
It was the last album from Dave Hollister. So they remember how they had the video up there where you see the video, then after the video you talk about what you think about his video. So
Yeah.
Terrence Clayton put me next to him on purpose. He was like, yo, bro, do the same thing you did in that room, and you never know what can happen for you. I was like, all right, cool. So I get next to
Okay.
Dave, and it was time. So it came back on from the commercial. It's like, yeah, we here right now. We got this guy in the audience. What do you think about Dave Hollister video? So I'm right next to Dave at this point. So I'm telling Dave, like, yo, man, I love the video, but my main thing is, man, I'm hoping one day me and you could work together. And what I really think about the video is I start singing one of his songs called Destiny. So I
Yeah.
started singing on this song, Destiny, Destiny, oh, can't you see? Destiny.
Yeah.
Okay
And he
then.
was like, what? He was like, oh man, so I'm, yo. So he was like, I was like, yeah, hopefully one
Crazy.
day I could work with you. So they couldn't edit that part out of the show. So then everybody saw it. So
Yeah.
everybody in Rochester saw it. People down south saw it. So they called me. They're like, "Bro, I know you signed, bro. You did that in front of Dave Holland. Oh, you on, bro? You popping?" And I got Dave Hollister's number. I
Mm.
talked to him, and he was on the Hennessy tour at the time, and he was telling me about Tank at that time. He was like, "Yo, right now, we're doing some things with Tank, and we want to bring you up to Van Nuys, California, so we could work on some material." I was like, "All right, bet." So basically, I called him back about 2 weeks later, and he told me that the album didn't sell well. It kind of went bad, and then he didn't have any extra money for me for no studio time. So he was like, "Yo, you
Uh,
good? You're talented, but keep going and keep doing it." So
for
at
Yeah.
sure.
first I was kind of crushed from that. I was kind of like,
Yeah.
dang. Like, I was kind of crushed, but then I picked myself back up, like, nah, bro. But he recognized you though. He knows that you're talented. He just couldn't do nothing with you. So just
Yeah.
So,
keep going. So that's what I did, bro. I just kept going, bro. But that's how I be having some encounters like that with different people,
yeah.
meeting all different types of people in the world, man. But I guarantee you this: people done heard of me. People in the industry done heard of me for sure.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Every time you say Neil, they be like, Neil, that sound mad familiar. Cause I'm
Yeah.
always in. I
Yeah.
used to be in the mix of everything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
That's what's up,
Dang, I
man.
like that, man. Yeah.
No matter how it
yes,
turned
sir.
out, that's still a story of inspiration, and largely because of how you saw it and how you kept moving from that after that.
Kept going.
That was a wild
Yes, sir.
story. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
That was,
Yo, shout
you
out to
made
Dave
Cause
Hollister, boy.
for sure, and you made the most of that moment. Like somebody put you on, and you did that. So
Yeah.
that's what it's all
And
about.
to
I
this,
mean,
yo,
yeah.
you know what? And to this day, Terrence Clayton, that dude know who I am. Like I follow him on Instagram or whatever. I had followed him or whatever. And I was like, yo,
yeah.
you remember me when I sung the ice cream? He was like, yeah, ice cream man. Yeah, I remember you, bro. What's up, man? This was years later. I found him on Instagram. He was like,
Yeah,
yeah, I know you in, bro. Like, you still doing music? I was like, yup. He's like, let me hear some of your new songs. That's when I let him hear I Know. I let him hear
yeah.
Not in Lust. Not in Lust was wrote for my wife. I had dedicated that to her. Um,
Okay
which
then.
still,
I like that
yeah.
one.
So it's I don't know if y'all heard that one yet, but that's
Yeah,
it still stands for Neil, by the way, next in line. So it's
Yeah.
not in lust.
Uh,
You know what I mean? So, but anyways, long story short, brother, my whole journey of this music, my whole journey of life, going through hard times, going through the good times, it has built me. It has built character in me, very strong character. And anybody I encounter, what I try to do is when I encounter them, say something inspirational or positive for them that can lift
right.
them up. I rather lift you up than tear you down. We already fighting battles ourselves as men, right? So we don't need more people beating us up, mentally and all that. So we need people like to uplift. So I made a conscious decision that when I encounter people out there in the world, I make sure I have something positive to say, or I make sure
Right.
I tell them about holistic stuff like black seed oil cold press made by amazing herbs.
yeah,
Okay
yeah.
then.
I
Yeah.
like that. Okay,
Yeah.
so going back to the topic of growing through what you're going through, how uh was music like a way of escape for you? Like going with what you were going through and stuff, or was it just something to do and then it grew into something deeper?
Nah, music was an escape for me, man. It like I told you before, it kept me out of prison. It kept me out of a lot of sticky situations. You know what I'm saying? When people wanted me to go on to do something crazy, whether it was robbing or whether it was doing all these things, I said no, I'm going to the studio. When people wanted me to go and do some wild stuff like go rob a convenience store, I was like, nah, I'm going to the studio. See what I'm saying? Like every time somebody was trying to get me to do something that was crazy, my first thought was, nah, I'm going to the studio. I'm gonna go do
Right.
that. That's what I like to do. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I can tell you that I had music that I was clinging on to music for dear life to keep me out of a lot of situations. And I thank God for him giving me that type of talent to be able to go and sing in different places, sing in churches, sing for people that need, like I sung for my for the what is it, the counselor, the school teachers. Like man, at school I was known for singing, man. I was
yeah.
known for singing and making people laugh, man. That's what I was known for. Like I used to step too. I used to step and all that. Like I
Okay
was
Mhm.
just
then.
very active in the
Yeah.
school, man, for
Stop
sure.
the
Like
yard.
that's yeah, man. I used to stomp the yard on you, boy. What? It's like shame on you. Yeah, I used to do
Hey,
all of that.
so
What?
during your music career, like when you were starting off, like what kind of like trials that you have to go through? Because I mean, you a good artist, bro. Like I heard some, not in
Thank you.
lust or something. I'm probably gonna play tonight.
Yes, sir.
I
You
ain't
got
gonna
to
Yeah,
even
do it.
flex with
I,
you,
I
but you
played
know
it
what I'm
this morning.
saying? Yeah,
You
because
got to do it.
I told one of my friends like, hey, we gonna do some chicken tonight. It's cause he over here at my house it's chicken Sunday.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you come, we
Chicken
gonna fry
Sunday.
it, bake it or
Yeah.
whatever, So she a little big. She a little big. I ain't gonna put her out there,
Ain't nothing
but
wrong with
so
that.
it's
You
a
know, push
fried.
it for the pushing,
It's
You
baby.
was
fried.
crazy.
If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
was to see her, you would have a conversation with me offline. Let's put it like that.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, like your music is very good. And
Thank you.
I feel like you should be like already out there. You feel me? Like we should be turning on our damn
Right.
radio. We should hear this. You know what I'm saying? But we know
Well,
how the
I know it's on
algorithms,
the
how
radio.
things work.
I know it.
Huh?
I know it actually hit the radio
You did?
upstate New York. Yeah, I know been on the radio. And it's got like 60, 70,000 streams.
Woo.
Damn.
So, yeah, I know it's up there. Yeah, I know it's doing it, man. Like,
So
I'm
how?
telling
So
you
like,
guys,
so what kind of tribulation? Like, what kind of trials did you have to go through? Like, I know it wasn't easy because you telling it. So there's somebody out there trying to hate on you. Like, ain't giving you a
well,
chance because they jealous. Like, did you ever have to go through something like that?
I here's the deal. I've never experienced as far as somebody hate. I didn't never feel like somebody was hating, but I always felt like more or less like somebody was like, yo, I know he's talented and I'm not going to open that door for him because I know if I do, he's taking off like a rocket. But the trials and tribulations that I really faced was when I did these songs, I met this guy. And when I met this guy, he was down to actually be like an almost like an angel investor, but at the same time, he still wanted his hands dipped into the situation. But he
Yeah.
didn't really know anything about the music industry like that. But I did. You know what I mean? I just didn't have the a lot of money to get popping, to get in. Because I'll be honest with you, it costs a lot of money to get into the music industry right now. I'm talking like when it's all said and done, like 250K. You know what I'm saying? And that's with marketing, and you're spending most of that on marketing. A lot of artists
Yeah.
don't know that, but you spend a lot of that money on marketing, not on videos. Because videos is like a thing of the past almost. It's more or less now.
Right.
Like you could shoot a music video, but that doesn't guarantee anything. That's just a part of advertisement.
Yeah.
That's money you're throwing away right there, right? So that's a part of
Right.
advertisement. But now the new thing is, social media. You know what I mean? So I had the hardest time with literally building a real strong content team around me because I had a team before and they all knew how the game went, but they were just like me. We all was really lacking the finances to really push it. And a lot of things we didn't include finances. Like when I used to go on stage and perform in different places in Florida and stuff like that, most artists had to pay to get on stage, but I
Yeah.
didn't because my sister-in-law, she was really connected in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like she was involved with the media and all that. So she worked in media. So she had a lot of connections. So I had a lot of help actually to try to push me to get in. But then it
Yeah.
was, I felt there were some people who were like, he's good. You know what I'm saying? I don't, I just felt like they didn't want to really let me in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they just feel like, yo, if we let this dude in, he's literally gonna take off. No doubt about it. So the guy that I was working with, that was the angel investor, he kind of had this thing where he didn't know about the music industry like that, but he kind of had this, I want to say, a power trip thing going. And he's a
Yeah.
good guy and
Yeah.
everything, but he's a businessman at the end of the day. So him being a businessman, he had the business model. You know what I mean? But he didn't have the music model though. He didn't have the
Right.
music business model. He had
Yeah.
the regular business model, if that makes sense, right?
It's kind of
So,
like Trump.
right.
Trump is a businessman. He's not a president. So
He's
he
not
operates and runs the country like a president. And a lot of people criticize him and stuff like that. But they have to understand, like, this man is not in politics. He's never been in politics. He just basically showed us with a little bit of money and a good talk game, I can
yep,
do this without no type of, you know what I'm saying, but not. And that's what I feel like with the podcast game now. You got a lot of people that's just starting podcasts, and it's like they're expecting
mhm,
for these high ratings and high viewerships and
no,
listeners, but you have to start from the bottom. Like what me and
right,
Zach is doing, we're starting from the bottom. It would be nice
right,
to have over 1,000, 2,000 people just watching it, but I'm comfortable with the 100 or the 50 because
right,
it goes from one viewer to three viewers to 10 to 20. It's growing. It's gonna be a slow
right,
process, but it's growing. I think that with you, you're a very patient individual. So it's like
Yeah.
you did, and because you love this, you're not really worried about like what everybody else think about it.
Nope.
If you do this
No.
for your soul,
Yeah, I do this for me, man, because look, the people who catch on to me, they catch on, right? However, when you're promoting anything, whether it's the podcast, whether it's a musician, or artist, or whatever, it's gonna take, regardless, you can't escape this. It's
right?
gonna take marketing dollars to really put you where you need to be at. A lot of
Mm,
people try to avoid that part because they're like, "Yo, I don't have the money to do marketing right now." And that's okay too. And now it's a real uphill battle because now you don't have
hmm.
any marketing dollars to get your podcast really off the ground the way you need it to be. And a lot of times it only takes 20 to 50 to $100 to get more eyes looking at you. And everyone who knows about a podcast or knows about the music industry know that you have to dump money into the tools of marketing. Like for
Right,
instance, when I wanted more people to look at I Know, to listen to I Know, you know what I did? I took 50 of my dollars, I put it in the Instagram, right? I went into the Instagram and typed in, I want people from New York to the surrounding areas, almost 1 million people, to see that I'm singing I Know. Now, how do I get those 1 million people to view it? Easily. I paid $50 for marketing for 3 weeks on Instagram. 3 weeks. So now in 3 weeks, 1 million people saw I Know. They saw
damn,
me to the point where when I went to New York, people came up to me, was like, bro, yo, you Neil? I'm like, yeah. He's like, bro, I heard that I Know, bro. I knew you. This was in a club. These dudes came up to me, and when I was in New York, so
damn,
that's how I knew that the marketing dollars I spent, it worked. That was a test that I was doing to see if it would work, and it did.
damn.
And that's
In
really
three
what the
weeks,
hack is for any podcast, any artist who's trying to get themselves out there. You need to go ahead and invest and spend the marketing dollars because everyone's doing this. And this is
right?
not no secret. Everyone who's ever, if you look at other podcasts and you see them like with a lot of views or they got a lot of people engaging, yo, they spent a lot of marketing dollars to get their situation the way it is. You know what I'm saying? They just did.
Yeah,
Unless you were a popular person already. Now, if you was already like people knew you, like let's say, what's the name? What's the girl named Gibson or something like? Let's just say, for instance, $1 million worth of game Wallow in them, right?
yeah. Wallow and
Now,
Gilly.
yeah. Now people already knew Gilly, so
Yeah,
when he dropped $1 million worth of game, people tuned in. Then when Wallow came home, forget about it. But he had already had a name for himself. So when he
right.
started the podcast, people instantly tuned in. Now, I said that to say this. If you're a person that nobody knows about, they don't even know who the heck you are, you're going to have to drop the marketing dollars. I don't care if it's 50, you put 50, he put 50, that's 100. You can market this whole thing for at least 2 months off $100, man.
Damn.
Literally. You'll really start to see a lot happening for you once you do that.
Yeah,
But that's a hack for anybody trying to get anything on social media trying to get it off the ground. Even with TikTok, man, people pay for TikTok for people to look at it more. They pay for marketing. It's marketing dollars. That's how it's always been. You know what I'm saying?
damn.
So
Yeah,
so my advice to you guys is you guys got great content. I've looked at your YouTube page, but what I noticed is that it needs to be some marketing dollars put there. Because once you
yeah.
do that, y'all gonna have a following like through this roof. It's
Don't
gonna
tell
get
me that.
nuts. It's
I won't
gonna get
have fried
nuts.
chicken Sundays no more, man.
Yeah, yeah, you won't have no fried chicken Sundays no
It
more. It'll be over with,
be
man.
it be baked chicken Sundays and asparagus.
That's a fact.
But hey, so let me ask you this right here, right? So, um, with like basically with your music, is any of your kids involved in your music? Do you have like projects that you plan on doing with your kids? I know you said that you had a 30-year-old. So like what kind of lessons have they learned from like you and all of the things that you've been through? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure they've seen you go through everything as far as the music,
Yeah.
the podcast, the helping out in the community, you and your wife. Like what kind of lessons you think that they're actually learning from you?
What they learning from me and my wife is perseverance.
Mm,
They're learning perseverance. They're learning to not give up when things get hard. They're learning from us that you can get knocked down 1 million times. All you need to do is get back up once, one more. You know what I'm saying? They
yeah.
they look at us as resilient people, like not taking no for an answer. Like we'll keep knocking on your door till you damn near want to fight us because we keep telling you about healingbroken souls.org. We keep telling you about I know.
Yeah.
We keep telling you about all these things to the point you be like, all right, I'm gonna see what's going on with this guy. I'm gonna see what's going on because he keeps coming at me. He keeps sending me
Yeah.
emails. Like I gotta tap in with this guy. So what my kids look at on us, man, is just like I said, perseverance, resilience, taking no for an answer, and understanding that you can't do nothing if you ain't gonna be able to really have success if you never try or you don't at least put in the work. Like without
Right.
work, you're not gonna get anything out of it. So one thing my
Right.
30-year-old knows is that he got to work in order for him to have something. He's not sitting there waiting or looking for a handout. My other kids know the same thing. My daughter, she's 20. She'll be 21 in November coming up, and she's in school right now to become a traveling registered nurse, right? But
That's
she
good.
also knows, yeah, she also knows that if I don't put in this work, I'm not going to be where I want to be in my life. And that's all because of how I see how my family, my mother, my father, how they are. They work hard all their lives trying to have
Right.
something. You know what I mean? Now, we're
Yeah.
not rich people at all. We're hardworking people. We do what we have to do to maintain our roof over our head and put food on the table, and you know what I mean, and making sure they
Yeah.
had everything that they needed. Because the thing is, parents only have to provide three things, and that's a roof over their head, food in their belly, and clothes on their back. Anything
Yeah.
else those kids get is gravy and extra.
Yeah.
And I told them that. They know that from me.
You
They
said
know
as well, bro. Say it
the
again.
three is three things that parents are responsible to do for their kids. Well, number
Yeah.
one is food,
Uh-huh.
shelter, and
Yeah.
clothing.
Okay.
That's it.
Anything else is what?
Anything else is gravy. Everything else is just, oh my God, it's ice cream. It's a
Oh
cherry.
man.
It's a cherry on top. If you got an Xbox,
Ah.
that was cherry. If you go to a
Yeah.
football game, if you're involved with football, that's cherry because parents gotta pay for that.
Yeah,
That
you're
costs
right.
money. I paid for my son football joint that cost what $800 for all of the gear. How do you know I got that extra money like
And
that?
it's probably more not because they got all these different AAU leagues and these different
Yeah.
leagues and stuff like that. Hell, they got a league I seen, it's grown men playing.
Yep.
And
Grown
they
man.
have to pay for the dues, they got to pay for the
Yep.
uniforms and things like that. As a parent, like my daughter's 8 years old. She wants to do gymnastics so bad. I let her do softball last year. She was pretty good, but I still had to pay. It wasn't as basic much as I thought it would be, but I looked at some stuff for just basic. I guess you could say the beginning gymnastic stage for her age.
Oh yeah.
I
The
was like,
beginning.
dang, baby, I might have to pull some overtime. You might have to go sell a couple cups of lemonade on the side of the street because I don't know why it costs this damn much just for you to do a couple backflips. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
this program is saying that they're going to teach these children more than just backflips. They're going to teach them
Okay.
confidence and endurance and stuff like that. And I just feel like back in the day, I was born in '92. I graduated high
Okay.
school 2010. So I'm
Okay.
from that area. So when you was talking about being on 106 apart, right? You have to understand, we would be in the lunchroom watching 106 apart because we didn't have cell phones at the time.
There you
You
go.
know, I'm still from that era, and a lot of people look at me like, "Are you serious?" Like I'm 33 years old. A lot of people say, "No, no,
Right.
you're not." Yes, I am. I grew up without a cell phone. I grew up without this. I wasn't in the social media phase or whatever. I come home every day and watch the cartoons, did homework. From 3 to 6 o'clock was when you could watch TV as a kid on the weekdays. Because after 6, everything was the damn news. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. Mm-hmm.
So nowadays, how many kids know what basically I used to call it regular TV, antenna TV?
They
You
don't know.
only have 4 channels, 5 channels at the most.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know
That's a
that.
fact. They
Yeah,
don't
but
know
I
that.
do. So whenever my daughter's playing Roblox on her iPad, I ain't got no iPad, but she
Right.
do, and she like,
But she
I
do.
want to play. Yeah, I'm like, you playing Roblox? It's 9 o'clock. It's time to go to bed. I said
Right.
back in my day, they didn't have to tell us basically when to go to bed. They gave us a look, and when that little show that we was looking at went off at 9 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
9:01, they didn't want to look back on that couch and see us sitting there.
That's a fact. It was
So
rules. It was
yeah,
rules.
and I feel like nowadays with the kids and the parent, me personally, I think it's the parents. A lot of parents I see are trying to be more of like a friend to the kid.
Friend.
And
That's a
I feel
fact.
like that's why that child doesn't have the type of knowledge to understand that you can't just get anything that you ask for. You have to work for it. You have to earn it. And that's the type of person I am. Like, even
Mhm.
from my ex-wife to who I'm talking to now, like, I had to
Mhm.
earn their basic respect. And I feel like by
Correct.
me doing that, if I don't, if I wanted to ask, like, hey, can you get me a glass of lemonade? Or, hey, girl, you give me something to drink? It's not like I'm doing it to be mean or disrespectful. I earned the respect for them. So in return, they're just giving me what I gave them. So
Right.
when I hear about all these kids and all the stuff that's going on, like you got a lot of kids that trying to get into the music game. You just basically said like it costs money. Where the hell you
It
think they
costs
gonna get the
money.
money from?
Hmm.
You know what
That's
I'm
a fact.
saying?
It costs money to do that. That's a fact. It
Yeah.
costs money for sure to do it. You know what I mean? And that's why I look at it like, at the end of the day, that that's just like, you're right. It all comes down to the upbringing. You know, parents. Some parents have lost the way to upbring their kids. They think sticking a laptop or a cell phone in their face is raising them. And what
Right.
you don't know is you're creating something that comes into the thing they call now is YNs.
Yeah.
You're creating you're creating YNs now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
YNs wasn't even a thing back in our time. You know what
At
I'm saying?
all.
It just wasn't. YNs? What? Where did that come from? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And we hear it
So
all the
now,
time too.
yeah, you hear that's like a normal thing to say now. You know what I mean? And the first thing I'm thinking in my head, well, if y'all call them YNs, that's the parents' fault. Then that's the newest parents' fault. Because
Right.
why? Why are they calling themselves that? Oh, because you stuck a cell phone in their face, told them to get out of my face. That's all that happened. Then they went in, and then the internet showing them what's up now. Now
Hmm.
you try to tell us something, they be like, "Nah, I already know that already." How? Oh, the internet
Exactly.
told me. The internet told you? Yeah, the internet told me about this, that, and the third. I said, well, put it this way: you can look at the internet, but everything on the internet ain't always what it is. I'm just being
Right.
honest. Like even
Right.
Google. Google to me is, maybe in my perspective anyway. I'm just talking about my perspective.
You
I
good?
feel like the Google is literally, like, I would say like maybe 65 to 75% of that is accurate. The rest has been installed, because you can actually change Wikipedia yourself.
Yeah.
You can actually change Wikipedia. You can say anything in Wikipedia. I can put my name in Wikipedia right now. You look up my name and it says I can make my net worth say that I'm worth $2 million right now. So now
Damn.
people are looking at me like, damn, this dude worth 2 million. Like, what the heck? Like, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You could go on Wikipedia and it gives you the edit button. You can edit
Yeah.
this
You
thing.
right.
So that's why I'm saying, like, I know about the internet because I grew up in the internet. I used to work for IBM Global Services in Rochester, New York, upstate. So
Yeah.
I'm like the great grandfather to the internet right now. You know what I mean? I ain't the grandfather, I'm the great grand. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I knew about the dial up. I knew how that went. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, is the kids now, though, they're not having any, a lot of them not having any guidance. And that's
Yeah.
where healing broken souls come in at. That's where human beings like us come into play, where we're letting them know, like, yo, listen, life is real. You go out here and you want to shoot at people, and then you be in front of that judge and he drops the hammer down on you and give you a
Yeah.
1,000 years. That's real. You
Gotcha.
talk
So we
about
got
you
a question
smoking on it.
here. We got a
Go
question.
ahead.
It says, how scary is it that a majority of people use Google, Chat GPT, social media as the only source of knowledge in today's age?
Well, that's a good question, actually. See,
Yeah.
what I think about chat and AI, I'm not scared of chat and AI because I grew up in it. What I've done is embrace chat and AI. The reason why I've embraced it, because how about this? How scary is this if you go back to school and learn a class on AI and you become the person that fixes AI when it breaks down?
Damn. I
How,
ain't think
how,
about that now. You just
how
said
could,
something.
yeah. If it break down, you want to be the one to fix it because you're going to get $250 an hour to do it,
Damn.
because you took a class on AI. Look that up when you get a chance. Don't be scared of AI.
Yeah.
Don't be
Well,
scared
hold
of
on.
Chat GPT.
I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm hoping maybe you understand. When I grew up and we had to do like basic research papers and stuff, we didn't have that. We had to go to the
Okay.
dictionary, encyclopedia. We know we had to do the actual work. So I'm not saying that today's kids are dumb or they're not
No.
utilizing their brain. They've just found an easier way to access that knowledge that we had to work so hard to get. But here's the thing though. How quickly do you retain the information that's already given to you if you're not looking for it?
Bingo. That's the thing.
See,
How
that's my
quickly?
only thing with it.
Hmm.
You can ask me something that I learned back in third grade, and I can tell you. But you can ask my daughter something that she learned off of Chat GPT on yesterday, and she may remember it today and tomorrow, but later on down the line, it's something else that she's learning. So she don't forgot this.
Right.
That's what I'm scared of. It's like how are they gonna retain the information? But we had to work hard for this shit.
That's
Now you
right.
can just go on the computer and type in. So, and another thing, you ought to be afraid of AI. I can sing, but I don't put myself out there. I sing in the shower and I sing in my sleep. But with you and what you got going on, aren't you afraid that AI can replace you in the studio?
No, I'm not. The reason why I'm not afraid of that is because here's the deal: things break down. A human,
Mm,
even a human, gets sick or something, right? But
right.
things break down. It can go wrong. They can that AI can actually pull a Milli Vanilli. I'll tell you,
You're
that
right.
girl
You
you know
you're
with,
right.
girl you know with, it can scratch. Okay,
Yeah.
AI can do that. Then where you're at with that? What are they gonna do then? They're
Mm,
gonna be like, oh my God, AI did a glitch. So now AI is not consistent. So
right.
my thing for people who are worried about Chat GPT, yeah, it gives some answers to things. It helps you in certain situations, but I'm not scared of it because I look at it as,
Yeah.
yo, use it to the best of your advantage, and whatever you feel scared about, get educated on it so you can actually become empowered by AI. You can actually
Gotcha.
become the person that fix AI. You can actually be the person that fix anything that goes wrong on any type of screen. You know, like McDonald's, right? When you go and
Yeah.
order something from McDonald's, right? They
Yeah.
order it on that screen. Now they saying, oh,
Hmm.
that's going to eventually replace people, right? Okay, well, why don't you be the person to fix that machine when it break? Why
Right.
don't
You
you
got
go
a
back to
point.
school and take a trade on that?
You got a
Computer A,
point.
do A+ certification. You
Mm,
feel me? Like, go back to school, embrace these things. Don't be scared of. The world is moving whether we like it or not. The
yeah.
world is turning whether we like it or not. Things are changing. You know how many old folks that are sitting there 70, 80 years old to be like, oh, I wish things would just go back to the way they were. It's not. It's speeding. It's going. And you either going
Yeah.
to embrace it, or you're going to get scared and go into a hole and climb there and lock yourself in, or you're going to embrace it and say, yo, this is just the way the world moves. Either I'm going to get with it or I'm going to stay stuck. And a lot of
Right.
people
You got a
choose to stay
point.
stuck into what they know. But listen, like I told you before, two things you blessed with: the moment you wake up in the morning, and that is a
Hmm.
chance and a choice. It is your
Right.
choice to stay stuck if you want to be stuck. Nothing wrong with that if you're content with that. You know what I'm afraid of? Of
What?
like not being able to learn something new every day, or not being able to elevate myself so that way I can show others on how things give other people like hacks and basically pay things forward. I'm
Yeah.
scared
Yeah.
to be in a situation where I can't learn something new. Like literally every day I learn something new and I'm happy about
Right.
it. So if I can't learn something new, I'm kind of like, I'm in a thing like, dang, I didn't learn nothing new today. That's strange because I always learn something new, even if it's from other people. Like talking to you, I learn things new. You talking to
Yeah.
me, you may
I'm
learn
learning.
some things from me.
I did
You know
learn
what I'm
some
saying?
shit from you. You just told me to market. Damn it,
Yeah,
we gonna market. But
yo, I help you. Whatever you need,
yeah.
just hit me up. You know what I'm
So
saying? I'll
so
send you the links.
I got two more questions before we wrap this episode up. My first question is, what kind of new songs or projects are you working on right now?
All right, so I'm working on a new project right now. I'm here in Savannah right now. So I relocated to Savannah, Georgia. So
Okay.
I'm building a team right now of people. I don't know if you ever heard of SCAD, which stands for School of Arts and
Yeah,
Design.
I heard of it.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's a big thing here in Savannah, and there's a lot of kids here that do film. They do animation. They're like in their senior year. Some of them in their junior year still, or in freshman
Yeah.
year, or whatever. So I've been linking up with these kids. So these kids actually want to help me put together a project and finish basically relaunching those 3 songs that I have already and adding at least 3 more songs to the pot so that way I can have a 6-song EP. Not an EP.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that EP? Yeah, EP.
It's a
Real
EP.
short.
Yeah.
Yeah, EP. So they're gonna help me with the content. They're gonna, and this is all me just networking though. This is just that's why I try to tell artists too. If you're a young and up and coming artist, the key to this whole thing is networking, man. If you don't know how
Right.
to network, get a friend to talk for you. You know what I mean? Figure it out, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
the only way you're gonna be able to really get into this game is you got to know how to talk to people. See, that's one
Yeah.
thing that's been helping me out tremendously in the music is me being able to talk to people, me being able to convey the message, me being able to be an articulate person that know how to get my point across. And there's some people that's just not skilled in that, and that's okay. Get a friend of yours that's skilled in that. Let him be your advocate. Let her
Yeah.
be your advocate if you don't know how to talk to people. You know what I mean? And I learned this
Yeah.
from I learned this from Warren Buffett. You know who Warren Buffett
Warren,
is.
I know Warren Buffett.
Yeah, I learned this.
I
Now,
used to live beside him.
yeah, I haven't met him like personally, but I've read his stuff, and I heard one of the things he said, like, yo, oh, if you don't know how to do this particular thing, get somebody to do it. Oh, you don't know how to convey your message, pay somebody to convey the message for you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So when I heard him say this guy got money. So when I'm hearing this guy saying this, what did I take away from him? What I took away is whatever you don't know how to do, brother, pay somebody to do it. Bottom
Right.
line. But get it done. Get it done. And don't make no excuses. Either you doing it or you're not doing it. So I
Amen
had
to
to
that,
learn
brother.
that from a guy. His name was TJ DJ. You probably heard of him before. But he managed B.O.B. And also he managed T-Pain before. But
Okay.
and I met him, man. I remember I manifested meeting him. I remember I had talked about him like years before I met the guy. All of a sudden I
Right.
met the guy. You know what I'm saying? And what
Right.
he told me was a mouthful. He was like, first of all, stop making excuses. Second of all, get on stage, perform, talk to people, network. Now these are things I already knew, but I just still listen to them anyways, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you listen to what people have to say. Don't you know what I mean? Because just listen to them, because you
Right.
may find a message in that whole conversation. So what
Amen to
I
that.
took away, you know what I mean? So what I took away from him was literally, yo, just make sure whatever it is you do when it comes down to music or just anything in life, make sure you follow through, bro. Like if you're gonna be on stage, if you gotta be on stage at 8 o'clock, be there at 6:30. If you got to be, like this is how I was winning down in Florida. Like I had to be at a show. The show don't start to 7:30. I'm there at
Yeah.
like 5:45 before everybody's even there. I'm there
Yeah.
waiting on the DJ. I'm waiting on the guy who told me to come. He come there. He look at me like, bro, you the
What you
only
doing
one
here?
here. What you doing here? It
Yeah.
don't start to 7. But guess what? He remembered me moving forward. So anytime he see me out anywhere, he'd be like, oh, Neil, come over here, man. Yo, Neil, come here. Yo, Neil, we throwing a party. Come on. See what I'm saying? Because the way
Yeah.
they look at me is like, this dude, he's serious about what he's doing. He's ahead of time. He's not acting like Hollywood. He's not acting like he's already rich or something, trying to act like he's gonna get there at 12 o'clock, at 12 midnight to perform like he
Yeah.
Prince or somebody. Stay before everybody. Because I just want to make sure I'm there. So if you tell me to be there at this time, I'm gonna do my best to be there before time. Unless there's a malfunction in the phone or the computers are jittering or
Yeah.
something like that, then yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna have that issue. But as far as you telling me personally to show up somewhere, I'm there before you get there. I can bet you I'm there because
I
you told
got
me
you.
something. I gotta follow through. I gotta do it.
And that's why first of all I want to say thank you for coming on our show because our time is up. But man, it's been a
Anytime.
blessing to talk to you. All of
Yes,
the
sir.
research that we did on you for the whole week. I mean, some of the quotes that you have on your page and stuff is very uplifting. And we just want to thank you for coming on here today and giving our
Anytime.
viewers and our listeners something. This is what a special guest is, people. Let's give a round of applause for our special guest for real. I know I'm the only one in here, but God damn it, I'm clapping for you. Now, Neil,
Yeah, yeah.
where can people go to look at your music, follow you on your basic social? Just throw some of your information out there before we have to go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to say thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Neil, next in line, hip hop and R&B recording artist, also motivational speaker. If you need to get at me or get at us, me and my wife have the nonprofit organization titled HealingBrokenSouls.org. All right, HealingBrokenSouls.org. Check us out. Also, if you want to check me out, The Real Neil on Instagram and everywhere else. The Real Neil, TheReal. NIL, baby. All right. And if you need any inspiration, if you need any motivation, if you want to reach out to me, DM me. If you're having some hard time dealing with a lot of situations, guess what? I don't know, man. God will give me a message for you. I know He will. So just tap in
Amen to
with me,
that.
man. And I love everybody, man. I want everybody to win in life. And when you think of me, just think of me as a brother that's just a beacon of light and love to uplift people whenever he can. That's it.
Hey man, again, we appreciate you for coming on. Again, I'm your host, Ronnie G, and my other host, Zach, he has some stuff that he had to do, but he sends his love and his appreciation and all of his thanks. Y'all know how to like, follow, and subscribe. And next week, we're gonna have our show. We're gonna put a phone number so y'all can call in and talk to us again. I'm out of here. Y'all enjoy it. Happy Sunday.
Yeah, yeah.
Jacob. Jacob.